since my phone died, I figured I'd try to get on and finish the video and make sure that I posted the link in the description. Well, I didn't get back on fast enough, so I have to start a new video in order to put the link in the link description. I got Stormy something to eat. The folks in the store were able to guess who it was for. I am honest with them about what I'm doing. One of the ladies who's a manager there, she talked to Miguel for a second. He explained he was the one that was there the night with the pumpkins. This stuff's been ongoing though. Like, you know, I stayed there last night and I don't want to stay there again tonight, but life happens. Also, there's a guy here. I want to call him Jake from State Farm, but I won't. His mom brought me this here pie. It's homemade. Not only is it homemade, but it's an apple crisp pie. So it's an apple pie, but it's got caramel drizzle on it, and it's got a really, really delicious looking topping on it. I did get permission to share it with people, so I might have to go find someone to share it with, right? I might even share it with some drug addicts, even though a lot of people tell me not to. But you know what? They're people too, and they deserve to have something nice once in a while. You know, even an addict, and I'm just telling you this from experience. See, my addiction was alcohol. I quit drinking when I turned 21. And I can tell you, no matter how much I craved alcohol, I still had a sweet tooth. So, even if I was drunk, I still had a sweet tooth. If I was sober, I still had a sweet tooth. I still liked sugary drinks, even when I was drunk. Even when I was craving alcohol, I never got a sour stomach, so I couldn't eat. I always got hungry. Now, sometimes I got a sour stomach because I did eat. Some things you just don't mix with alcohol. I always thought bread was a good idea. It turns out it's really not. Depending on what you put in with it. Because if you drink beer and then you put bread on top of it, it'll start giving you farts and belches like you wouldn't believe. But it is good for soaking everything up. Anyway, I gotta retie my shoelaces so they don't get stuck on my gas pedal and my clutch. And then I'll be traveling over to a different parking lot where I'm less likely to be victimized because it's more lit up. The lady on the front of this, she goes into our hall of shame. She gets to be called the word cunt. What do we reserve that word for? People who get other people hurt or injured. False accusations absolutely do that. They get innocent people, especially men, hurt or injured. And we've taught every woman that when she does something wrong, she can use those accusations as a tool. How dare a man speak up? How dare he? Anyway, I got still 3/4 of a tank. I probably shouldn't go up the mountain with that much. The bottom half of the tank disappears quickly, it seems, when I'm doing the mountain driving. Especially on the way up. Anyway, I was able to get enough gas that I could have gone up the mountain. Craig was going to come today and help me a little bit more. That was kind of the plan, since we Don't believe my vehicle will even make it up the mountain. It's not just me who thinks that way. You don't think it's going to make it either. But because of that, we were going to try to move some more of this stuff into my storage. And then when I was able to, hopefully them other folks will be able to help me tomorrow to go up there and at least grab my stuff. But I ain't got a safe place to take it still. Anyway, there's Christine, Christy, and Krista. Their names are all real similar, so I try not to fuck them up. There's a lot of women at the Safeway who've helped me out in the ways that they can, given their understanding, but they're at work. They don't have time to stop and understand. And a lot of times, I'm just glad for a few moments of humanity. There is one lady that works here that I was told she's pretty depressed, and that when I come in, she gets less depressed. So when she's working, I try to visit her at least once on her shift. Even if it means that I gotta buy stuff at the wrong station, oh well. But, you know, with a lot of these people, I try to keep it professional. One of the things with the Starbucks in Boulder, Colorado, a lot of the people that work there invited me to their houses, and I told them all no. I always told them no. Until the situation with Devin Cockerill, and obviously going to her house was a bad idea. She had the wrong idea about things, and that never leads to a positive situation, does it? Well, it can. If somebody realizes they made a mistake, just because you're a pretty white girl doesn't mean that when you lie to somebody that they're stalking you. Just don't lie to people. You know, a lot of people don't have the luxury of getting to lie like that and get away with it. And have people just try to understand, go out of their way to understand things that really, they are understandable, but not if it's an excuse. And you show that it's an excuse when you don't keep your word. I don't hold any animosity towards Devin Cockerill. Obviously, if I did, I would have done something about it. It's not like it's difficult to find people in America. But the thing is, she didn't do stuff to me to try to be mean to me. She did stuff because she didn't understand, and she didn't have time to try to understand, or didn't want to make the time to understand. You know, when you're somebody who's used to people coming through every time, and used to people forgiving you every time you don't realize how much time of people's that you waste, or how harmful it is. I'm relocating to an area that has better lighting than where I was last night. See, last night the only thing they had left to throw at me over here was a fucking egg. Most of what they threw at me was over at the library parking lot. Thank goodness I recorded it. You can hear things bouncing off my vehicle, but I don't have the greatest understanding of this technology stuff, and despite the amount of money that I've paid for help doing that stuff, the people who've promised to help me have been, for the most part, alcoholics. Anyway, Jake's mom brought me a whole pie, so I gotta go find somebody to share it with. phone's only 15% battery. See what time it is. 7:26. Alright. Yep, I'm just barely above half a tank, it looks like. I was just parked at a good angle for it to register like there was more gas than there is. That about drive you to drinking, won't it? Where the hell did I put those cigarettes? Fuck it. I got a tobacco pipe that'll work for now. I got 2 filled cigarettes, a half a cigarette, and a quarter of a cigarette in here somewhere. Oh, that is the nasty. There's no way to smoke it without fucking choking on it. Lori gave me some tobacco yesterday and some rolling papers, and unfortunately I ran out of rolling papers. Alright, looks like I'm at 15%, so this thing's gonna die real shortly. It fucking happens, right? I said, oh, Ophelia, get down on my knees. I'm begging you, please, to come home. Sorry about that. Wasn't trying to run you over. Lactose free. Oh. Excuse me, miss.
Back so soon.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Don't shoot me.
Don't run that over.
I was gonna say, Jake's mom gave me like a whole apple pie, like the whole thing. Jake's mom. He's this guy.
Anyways.
I don't have anybody to share it with. Whole pie.
Stormy. Chicken finger baby.
I was gonna go and feed all them hobos with it. That was my first thought.
What?
Not that I ever think about two people at Safeway, but yeah, I thought of the hobos first.
I'd rather feed them first. They need it more.
Me too. They need to show back up for cancer then so I can feed them. Alright, well.
We'll make sure they get their slice and go away, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no need to apologize. He's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the Harlequin.
It's their dog. I'm just a granny. He is a good boy, though.
He's got a nice coat, too. He's healthy.
Oh yeah,
And his dish was washed last night, too.
he's a little spoiled.
Yeah, he is spoiled.
Well, me too.
That's how it should be. You have a nice evening.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
There's a real nice lady here in town. She made me an entire apple pie with some caramel drizzle on it and
Oh, my
some really
God.
nice stuff on top.
Yes.
And I can't eat the whole pie by myself. Are you guys hungry at all?
We actually got some pie at home ourselves.
That's what
So
they.
funny. We came to get ice cream just for that.
Yeah, but,
That is hilarious.
but you shouldn't have
It
no
is.
problem getting rid of it. Somebody's got to take it, you know.
Well, I would try to give it away to the hobos, but they all left already.
Right?
I checked the can place. I checked the other end. That's all right. Most of them are not sober enough to be hungry right now anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for offering.
If I wasn't heading back with them, I surely would get it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a great night.
No, it ain't none of these folks' fault. Some people are shitty. But it's all of our fault when there's no consequence for shitty people. When does a behavior become second nature? When do we have to divide the person from the behavior? And when we need to understand that the behavior has become the person? You know, you can tell the difference between your son, who you raised your entire life, and the meth head who comes to your house once in a while to steal from you and ask you for money. Wow. It does look as if someone decided to fuck with my car. I didn't break anything though. Doesn't look like they stole anything. Maybe there'll be some other hobos in a little bit. I'll give them some pie. I've had staples holding my pants together for about a week. Also, I've had a mess up in the mountains I need to go clean up for about a week. Oh my God, yes, and the pie is still warm. Like it's still warm. That's how fresh it is. Anyway, I should probably turn on my car, charge it up a bit, and hope nobody fucks with me. I am so sick and tired of people fucking with me. Maybe watch Steam Boy again. or Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Maybe I'll rewatch that thing with Myanmar and all the weapons that they've been making and how dangerous it is. I go through and I try to find the short ones that basically explain how fucked up it is, how dangerous it is, and try to deter people who have these great ideas of overthrowing the government by making cheap and simple, yeah, well, you get what you pay for. Some of this stuff for an IED, yeah, sure, makes sense. For something that you're going to hold on your shoulder and has several ounces of black powder in it, yeah, I'd say you probably should not attempt it. Especially when you were going to get only between 1 and 3 shots. 3 shots average before the goddamn thing blows up right next to your fucking head. Do you know where that charge goes off in an RPG too? Now, obviously, ain't none of you gonna make an RPG-7. There's only a few people that I know who even have the machining skills to be able to do such a thing. They're just not people who are interested. Why are they gonna throw away their trade and their entire lives to make something stupid like that? Especially for you buffoons. You can get one demilled for less than you can have somebody make one for it. If you're going to have somebody manufacture you an RPG-7, it's going to cost you about $7,000 worth of tooling just to have a garage set up. And then you got to have the right materials and the metallurgy. You got to have that knowledge. And you can't just give money and magically acquire that knowledge. That's about like going to a fucking fortune teller. Hey, here's $1,000. I want to be able to fly an AH-1G by tomorrow morning. So magic it into my head how to do that. No, it don't work. It takes time to accumulate that education. It also takes a lot of time to accumulate the hand and the eye coordination. Tell you, one of the things that I had the biggest issue with on my lathe is trying not to cut too deep. If you cut too deep, you can tell because it makes it all jumpy. You can see the tool marks in it. Nearly everything that I ever had in my life, I lost because I was dependent on others. You have to be in this world, but the people that you can depend on are the people who actually care about you. And most people, all they care about is being with someone who's attractive. And then after that, they want to be with someone who's nice. Right? What about those of us who don't want to be with anybody? What about those of us who'd rather cuddle with a Saint Bernard? And those of you women who want to take that as an insult, go right on ahead. It's the truth. At the end of the day, a Saint Bernard loves you for you. Find anything else or anyone else in the world that's like that. Dogs, they know how to love right. The rest of y'all, well, you get desperate, you get selfish, And then you do desperate and selfish things that are mean to other people. But you tell yourself that you deserve it more than them. You tell yourself that it's not ripping somebody off, it's getting yours. Or taking care of yours. Like that lady in, what was it, Tennessee? Ripped off a lot of the old people she was supposed to be taking care of for over $100,000. She wanted sympathy because she was using the money to feed her kids, except she wasn't using it to feed her kids, was she? She made enough money to pay her rent, to pay for her vehicle, and to pay for food, and to pay for gas, and to pay for medical insurance. She made enough for all of that, taking care of these folks. There was no reason for her to steal from them. Well, there was. She wanted to get hers. She figured them old folks, they need old folk care. She deserves a little bit more. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the guy cleaning out the porta potties should probably earn a little bit more too, wouldn't you think? How about the guy that's got to carry heavy furniture all the fucking time? He should get paid a little bit more, wouldn't you think? Anyway, there's some news brief shit that popped up. Let me take a look at it. Hopefully them youngins that been fucking with me aren't gonna fuck with me again, but what are the chances of them fucking with me again? They're pretty goddamn good. They pull this shit every night.